Okay, so find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. Remember, you don't have to really worry about what that looks like, but I want you to look for length without really manipulating your spine. So don't try to have like a super tall, flat back. Remember that spines aren't flat, they're really curvy, and that's to hold the weight of your skull. So the most important thing about sitting tall or having great posture or whatever is to look forward at your natural horizon. And we're all trying to like undo the desk posture at all times, right? Especially in this class. So really think about stacking your head on top of your spine, taking your chin down and back. That might make you feel a stretch already in the top of your back and behind your neck. That's normal. It's okay. And then maybe roll your shoulders down a couple times. Really ease the shoulder bones down. Well, ironic, the shoulders don't have a lot of bones. Your arms are only attached at the clavicle. So imagine broadness in the front of the chest, and then let the arms hang heavy right out of the sockets. So if you're standing, they'll come just straight down by your sides. But in your chair, see if you can make it so the elbows are directly under the shoulders, and then you rest the hands wherever it's easy to reach, right? We make a lot of mistakes sometime reaching forward with straight arms, but it might make you pull forward. So just let the arms come out of the shoulders and then rest the hands somewhere. Good. And then press down into what's touching down and energetically reach up through the crown of your head. You might feel a little bit of an adjustment without a physical adjustment actually happening there, and that's okay. Pelvis drawing in and up, belly drawing in and up, chin down and back, creating that container. Remember, we talked about the bandhas and creating that container where we're just circulating energy like a bellows for a fire instead of it just dripping out the bottom and leaking out the top. Good. And then mentally separate yourself from what you were doing, come fully now into what you are doing, which is just sitting. And maybe this feels like pretty radical yoga already. A lot happened to just sit, and I realize the irony there. And start to ground and center yourself. So notice what you see in your field of vision, whether your eyes are open or shut. Notice general shapes and colors. Notice the lights and the shadows. Notice where the doors and windows are in relation to your body. And notice where the other people and objects are. Notice the noises in the space besides my voice. And then notice your own personal bubble of space. Get a sense of what's right in front of you and what's directly to the sides of your body and just behind your body. Notice where air touches your skin. Notice where clothing is touching your skin. Notice what's touching underneath your body, where you're pressing down. See if you can get heavier in those places as you still are reaching up energetically through the crown of the head. And be aware of your breath without changing it. And then start to slow and deepen your breathing. Don't try too hard. Allow the breath to get a little fuller and deeper than normal. Preferably in and out of the nose, but as we just discussed, if allergies aren't letting that happen right now, maybe you breathe in and out of your mouth and breathe out like you're breathing out of a straw. It'll help slow the air down. Good. And then we'll start the movement portion of class if you wish. Everything's optional except your breathing. So you could stay exactly where you are, or you could open your eyes and scoot forward more towards the edge of your seat so you have more space to the sides and behind you. And really plant your feet firmly into the ground. Maybe you stack your feet under your knees, knees stack in line with the hips, shoulders on the hips, head on the spine, right? Let the skeleton work for you instead of against you. And then let your arms dangle out of your shoulders. Let gravity take over with the weight of the arms. And see if you can actively now pull your fingertips and arms down towards the floor more. And that might, again, increase sensation already in the upper part of your body. Chin down and back. You might also look down towards your chest and belly. Squeeze your shoulders behind you a little bit more. Reach more into the right fingertips. Reach more into the left fingertips. And then both at the same time. Good. Keep your body where it is, but next time you inhale, lift your gaze to look forward, and then lift your eyebrows and your eyeballs to look up. Maybe your head kind of follows, but don't crunch the back of your neck. Option to stay, or you could place your fingertips on the back of your skull to kind of hold the weight of your head, excuse me. I like to interlace my fingers so it's like a basket. And then really reach the elbows apart from each other. Lift the heart, lift the chest away from the hips. Maybe you tilt your gaze up further. Keep separating the elbows, keep squeezing the shoulders back behind you. Breathing as big and full as you can. Good. And then push into your feet. Inhale, come all the way back to the center and release your hands. And if you got lightheaded, that's okay. Tuck your chin down towards your chest, give it a little squeeze. And then look straight ahead. And scan your body from the bottom of your feet all the way through the crown of your head and just see if you feel different already. I do. It already feels a little something is left over. Good. So just to show you, this can be really small and simple and make a big difference. Identify your right hand. You can give it a little wiggle if you want. And then inhale, bring your arm either out to the side or up overhead. If it comes up overhead, fine. Let your shoulder reach up towards your earlobe. And now, like we did earlier, really separate the fingers now in opposite directions instead of both down towards the floor. Soften your face. Soften your gaze, but lock it ahead of you. Really pull the hands apart from each other. Press into your feet. Belly lifts in and up, pelvis in and up, chin down and back. Good. Stay or start to lean over as much as you wish. You can keep reaching your hand towards the floor, towards the ground, or you can kind of hang onto your pants or your lap for extra support. I recommend if you have a sensitive head and neck to look forward or down, but not to look up. But if your neck's okay with it, you can look up towards the sky. Option also to place your hand like on top of your head towards the opposite ear, and it can give you a little extra support there. Really breathe big into the space between your hip and your elbow or your fingertips. Press into your feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up. Inhale all the way back to the center. And then exhale, let your arm come down. Notice what's left over. Take a breath in neutral. And then do the other side. So inhale, opposite arm, either out or up. Create a lot of space between the shoulder and the hip, no matter what you chose to do with your arm. Gaze is forward, nice and soft. Pull the arms in opposite directions before you lean over. Just do this. Press into the feet, belly in and up. Get longer between your tail and your crown. Soften your face even more. You could even close your eyes. And imagine one line of energy between both sets of your fingertips. Good. And then to any degree, start to lean over to the opposite side. You could keep your arms pulling in opposite directions. You could grab your head. You could grab your lap. You could take the arm on top, put it behind you. It really doesn't matter. We're just looking for this side bending shape in the spine. So keep driving both hips into the seat. Keep breathing big into the space between your arm and the hip on the chair. Soft face. Allow the breath to get bigger and fuller without forcing it. And then when you're ready, press everything that's touching down, down so you can inhale and lift up with more support. Exhale, lower the arm. Notice what's left over. Good. Hands on your knees or your legs. Next time you breathe in, bring your belly forward, chest forward, gaze goes forward and up. It could be a little or a lot. Exhale, round your shoulders behind you. You could keep your hands where they are, or you can press your arms into an invisible wall in front of you, like you're pressing a wall away. And look down at your belly. Back and forth now. Inhaling, belly and chest forward. Exhaling, really round, especially between the shoulders. Maybe your tail tucks a little, but focus more on the thoracic spine, the portion of your back between your shoulder blades, right behind your heart and your lungs. Last one, back and forth, take your time. And then come to settle in the center when you're done. Come back to your neutral spine when you're ready. Press down into your feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, gaze is forward. And then place your hands one more time on the back of your skull. Maybe you're just touching, or maybe interlace your fingers like me. Good. Now press your head into your hands. Pull your elbows apart from each other. Imagine the shoulders coming down away from the ears. Good. Keep pressing down into what's touching down. Inhale, reach up higher through the crown of your head. Exhale, just twist a little bit to one side. Keep the elbows reaching out from each other, from the middle point. And then inhale back to the center. And exhale, twist to the other side. Keep pulling the chin down and back. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And then one more to the opposite side. When you've done two on each side, inhale back to the center. Maybe open your arms out to the side and push through the palms. Pull your fingertips back. And exhale, rest your arms on your lap. Good. If you want to kind of roll your shoulders big, that would be fine here. Or you can be still. And then let your arms dangle out of your shoulders one more time. And look down at your right thumb. And when you inhale, follow your thumb as you trace a big circle up and over and back behind you. Exhale as your hand comes down and back to the center. Opposite hand, inhale, follow your left thumb forward and up, and then exhale back and down. Do two more on each side. Good. Once you've done the same amount on each side, come back to the center, looking straight ahead and rest in neutral. Take a couple breaths. Notice what's left over so far from your practice, if anything. Good. Let's try eagle arms again, since we're kind of focusing on the upper body and the shoulders. I think we've done it before, but I'll show you once. I think actually I'm gonna have to just take this off to show you because it's a little bit odd. Okay, so you have two options here. The point is to cross the arms in front of you in some kind of way. Okay, one option is to give yourself a hug with the elbows. They could be stacked like fire logs, or you could start inching the elbows closer and closer together. In some bodies, like that's as tight as it's going to get, and then you can kind of give yourself a hug. And then over time, like 10 years, not 10 classes. You're like inching, inching, inching until you see how the elbows are starting to cross. If in your body the elbows can cross and it's pretty easy, then instead of a hug, you can start to bring the hands closer together. And in some bodies, you can clasp the fronts of the palms onto like in some bodies, it's like you're holding your own hand. My body doesn't do that. But you see how you're using leverage now. And it really will, this arm that's on top, you're really pulling it across the midline of your body and at the same time pulling the opposite arm in a slightly different vector. So you're getting a stretch in both shoulders, but in slightly different locations. And then we'll open up and then we'll do it on the opposite side. And they might look really different, especially if you're injured or you're like recovering from something, or you can try it on that side too. Okay? Okay, so let's try it. So I like to inhale to open first and then exhale, close, give yourself a hug. Let's do right arm on top this time, just for, whatever. So kind of get the elbows close together. Good. And then if they're pretty close, you can inch them closer and closer. And you can grab your shirt or just like grip with your fingers behind you. You could stay here. And it can be really interesting to stay here and to just lift the elbows up and then lower them down. That can create a lot sometimes. So you could stay here. Chin is still down and back. If you want to stay, great, stay. If your elbows are crossed, which both of yours are, if you're not sure, you could release the grip and then start rotating so the fingertips are pointing up towards the sky. And they might stay here. And whatever's touching, hook it on and pull them both down so your shoulders are coming down away from your ears at the same time. And then if flexibility allows in the forearm and in the wrists, you can clasp the hands together. Yeah, see, some bodies, it's like you're touching palms, and in some bodies, it's impossible. And in my body, it's painful, but it'll happen. So if it's painful, don't force it. Good. Okay. Good. So stay where you are. And then again, option to lift the elbows up in space and then exhale them down. Just try it. You don't have to go super far. This could be really, really small. And then next time you're ready to inhale, unravel, open up your arms. You might even like lift your heart in your chest and look up towards the sky. And then exhale, come back to neutral. Take a breath. If you got lightheaded, tuck your chin down and in. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale, open your arms out really, really big. Exhale, left arm on top this time. Cross the forearms first and then start to inch things closer together. See what the elbows are doing on this side. It might look or feel really different, so don't force it. Good. If your elbows get pretty close to crossing or they are crossing really far, then you can let go with your hands and you can see if you can bring the forearms more close together. And then maybe you wrap the palm around on this side. Good. With the arm underneath, it should be easier with the thumb pointing towards your face instead of also rotating the hand. Yes, it should be easier. I'm not saying it is easier. Should be. And then wherever you landed, giving yourself a hug or clasping or not with your eagle arms, you can inhale to lift and exhale to lower. See if when you do that though, you can keep pressing down and reaching up through the spine. So the only things that are moving are the arm bones, which is manipulating that huge complex of muscles in the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. I know, it's a lot. So just stick with it and breathe and don't force it. Good. When you're ready, inhale, open your arms out to the side. Maybe you press through the palms again. Maybe you lift the heart and look up towards the sky. And exhale, come back to neutral. You can roll your shoulders. You can press your chin down and in. Just take a breath here. Let everything settle back to where it should be. Good. And then scoot all the way back in your seat and find yourself in a tall, neutral spine with lots of support. Chin down and in, press your feet into the ground. And notice your shesha. Notice the echo of your practice or the remaining thing or the reverberation. Good. And since we're focusing on relaxation and kind of rehabilitation in the upper part of the body, let's do just a small guided visualization meditation for the end of class today. But it's optional, just like everything else. If you don't want to practice it or you'd rather do a full body scan or you have a prayer or something you're working on, this is like the place to put it. But if you're going to follow along with me, either lock your attention ahead of yourself at something that's not moving or close your eyes halfway or all the way. Place your hands on your lap with your palms facing up and slightly relax and bend all of the fingers like, I don't know, like you're holding a cupcake or like a ball in each of your hands, just so the joints are softer. And then in your right hand, imagine a ball of warm yellow light. It can be whatever shade or brightness or dimness. It can be however warm or cool that you wish. Just bring attention to your right palm. Imagine what it would feel like if you were holding a glowing orb. Imagine that you're not sure why, but when you're focusing on the orb and holding it, you notice a healing property to the sensations in your body there. And then without moving, almost by magic, imagine this glowing, healing ball or orb starts floating up through your lower arm towards your elbow. All along the way, creating warmth and healing through each part of your body until it reaches your elbow. And notice as the ball or orb starts to move up your upper arm towards your shoulder. You don't need to feel anything or notice anything in particular. Just be aware of what that would feel like. Notice the orb reaches your shoulder. Watch it travel behind your right shoulder, across the middle of your upper back, and over towards your left shoulder. Sense and notice as the orb starts to travel down from the top of your left shoulder towards your elbow. Down further still towards your wrist. Until the orb settles into your left hand. Good. I'll invite you to bring your hands together and start to rub them together to create some friction and heat. And then bring your palms to your heart. You can look down or forward. Notice again that sensation of warmth and healing. And then bring your hands together again in Anjali Mudra, with all of the fingers touching, the fingers spread generously apart, and the thumbs pushing into the center of your chest. Look down or bow down towards your heart in your hands if you haven't already. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for showing up, carving out time. We all know that's 90% of the work, and everything else is just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, your hands can come down, maybe the palms open one more time. Let your gaze open. You can look around the room again. And class is over. Thank you for coming. If you have questions or concerns, we can talk about that now. You can email me later, but have a good rest of your Monday. Happy Monday at work.